Hello, sisters of the world. Welcome. This is DeAnna Lam of Red Tents in Every Neighborhood. And I'm here today to answer Tali from Brazil, who asked about guilt and how to unravel and cope and deal with guilt. So, guilt is something we all know and feel and have felt for many years on and off, especially as children. And I want to start by saying that guilt is a human manufactured emotion. It's not a natural emotion. It does not appear in the animal kingdom. So the animals feel fear, they feel love, they feel primal emotions. Guilt, they don't feel unless you're thinking of dogs that are living with us humans and have been domesticated for centuries and millennia. And yes, they are under our shadow, so they learn guilt because we guilt trip them as humans. So that's the only exception, but it's not a natural thing from the animal kingdom that dogs feel in the wild, but dogs who are our companions at our homes do. So let's put that aside for a moment and realize that guilt is really a human manufactured emotion. And what does it say? Guilt says, I am not good enough. That's what guilt says. It's not saying that the way out is realizing that a behavior that you did, an action that you took, may have not been well thought, may have been a mistake, may have been something you regret, may have been something you will not do again. But that's very different than I'm not good enough. So what we do with guilt is that we take one behavior, one action, one thing that we've done that didn't work out or was ill-advised or wrong to begin with, and we, in an umbrella statement, say we are not good enough because of that one action. And I'd like to invite us to regroup, to take a step back, and to look at the action, not at ourselves, to maybe disown the action, not to disown ourselves. That's a huge difference. Most of us have learned guilt from our parents when we were young, and we were told that this was wrong and we are a good boy or bad girl, good girl or a bad boy, quote unquote. Often a lot of people are realizing that that's how they were raised, and it may have been like that in your family. And even if those words were not spoken, good girl, bad girl, there was a sense that if you've done something wrong, you were wrong, not the action. There is very little distinction in our parents admonishing between our action that we not support and are angry about, and you as a child. I remember when my daughter was growing up that I was very conscious of saying to her, I love you. What you did here, I'm angry for, and I'm not accepting this behavior, but I love you. So that's something we have an opportunity to shift and change and do over with our children. But if we look back at how we were as kids and how we were completely blanketed by statements that we weren't good because we have done something wrong, inviting us to realize that that's the origin, those are the roots of where guilt comes from those messages that were given to us by our parents that we're not good because our behavior was wrong. So realizing that, beginning to trace what statements were said to you as a child about not being good enough in many disguises and many ways. There are many words that our parents use, but that's the essence of it. So tracing those messages in your mind's eyes, returning those messages to mom or dad or grandma or grandpa, whoever said those to you, giving them back in your mind's eyes and saying, this is yours. I'm giving it back to you. It's not mine. I'm not going to carry that anymore. And internally disengaging from that blanket statement of I'm not good enough, which is what guilt is, and moving from that to I regret this behavior. This thing I've done was not a good idea to begin with. I made a mistake. I'm sorry about this behavior. But not talking to yourself as if you are wrong. You are never wrong as a whole human being. You're always right as a whole human being because your soul, your heart is in the right place. But behaviors, actions, steps that we have taken are often ill led, ill advised, or based in a misunderstanding or a mistake. And we can backpedal, we can regret those, we can apologize for them, we can disown the behavior, we can make sure that we don't do it again, but that we're not annihilating our sense of well-being. I hope that makes sense. I will see you here next week for Thursday. No, next week is Thanksgiving, so actually I will not see you next week. I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Meanwhile, be well, love yourself, and together we are changing the world. Bye for now.